Hello everyone, and my name is Teacher Rocky and would like to welcome you back sa ating paboritong channel. Yehey! And yes, this time natapos na natin ilabas ang ating RPMS tools both for proficient and highly proficient teachers. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang tungkol sa ESAT. Alam na naman natin lahat to. Marami na sa ating nakakaalam nito. Pero balikan lang natin as a review or a reminder para sa ating lahat habang ginagawa natin ang ating RPMS portfolio. So, ano ba ang ESAT? Para sa ating mga guro, meron tayong dalawang klaseng ESAT na ina-accomplish sa ating paggawa ng RPMS portfolio. We have a different ESAT para sa mga proficient teachers and another set para sa mga highly proficient teachers naman. So, ang ESAT stands for Electronic Self-Assessment Tool. It helps you to reflect on the different objectives related to your professional work. So, bilang guro, ang self-assessment tool is our self-reflection based on the different objectives of the RPMS. Okay? So, the results of this tool will guide you on which RPMS, IPCRF indicators you must improve and the areas where you need coaching and mentoring. That is the main purpose kung bakit tayo nag-accomplish ng self-assessment tool. For us to be guided kung ano ba sa mga indicators o objectives within the RPMS of the current year ang kailangan pa nating i-improve o kailangan natin ng mentoring and coaching. So, ang RPMS cycle for teachers, makikita natin dito kung kailan ba natin dapat ginagawa ang ESAT. So, according to the RPMS cycle for teachers, this is done or accomplished during phase 1 of the RPMS cycle. That is the performance planning and commitment. The activity that comes with it is the discussions or issuance of different RPMS tools. Yung iba't ibang RPMS tools na gagamitin natin at kasama na doon ang ating self-assessment tool. The forms, ano ba tong mga issuance na to? Ano bang ini-issue ng mga RPMS tools? It includes the IPCRF, at saka yung ating self-assessment tool, and of course, our IPCRF development plan. Magkakaugnay po yung mga yan. For the timeline, this should be accomplished within the first quarter of the school year. And the output, of course, expected is the signed IPCRF development plan based on SAT. So, ang ating IPCRF development plan po ay laging nakabase sa result ng ating self-assessment tool. And that also shows in the RPMS timeline for teachers. So, yung ating RPMS timeline, makikita mo na sa phase 1 po, performance planning and commitment. Diyan natin ginagawa ang ating self-assessment with initial individual development planning. So, ito yung development plan. Meron tayong initial at meron din tayong updated kung saan ina-update natin itong ginawa natin during phase 1. Ina-update natin sa end of the school year. And of course, ang ating tools na gagamitin dito is our self-assessment tool and the individual performance commitment and review form or IPCRF part 4. Nasa part 4 po yung ating individual development plan. And the person responsible to accomplish this is of course tayong mga ratees. This should be done on the first to second month of the first quarter. Dito po natin to isinasagawa. So, meron tatlong part ang ating self-assessment tool. We have the part 1, the demographic profile. We have part 2, the objectives. And part 3, the core behavioral competencies. Pareho din po yan ang para sa mga highly proficient teachers. So, meron din silang demographic profile, objectives, and the core behavioral competencies. Now, isa-isahin po natin yan. Ang ating demographic profile, syempre, dito natin fini-fill out yung mga information of us as a teacher or personally. So that includes our name, employee ID, position, employment status, age, sex, number of years in teaching, highest degree obtained, level taught, grade level taught, yung ating region, division, district, school ID, school name, school type, school size, and of course, the area of specialization and the subject taught. Parehas lang po yan para sa mga highly proficient teachers. Halos parehas lang, magkaiba lang ng form. Okay? But it also shows our demographic profile. Ang part 2 naman po is about the objectives. So, ang instructions po para dito is there are 2 columns for every objective. Please click one circle in each column corresponding to how you rate your level of capability and priority for development for each objective. So, the first column is about the objectives. Ito pong mga objectives na to is exactly the same objective na ginagamit po natin sa ating RPMS portfolio. Ayan po. Nandyan yung ating 4 na KRA para sa mga proficient teachers at 5 KRA naman para sa mga highly proficient teachers. The next column is our level of capability. Ang level of capability po, we can rate ourselves according to 1, low, 2, moderate, 3, high, or 4, very high. Sa priority for development, ganun din po, if ititik lang natin kung ano pong row or column ang nagko-correspond sa ating how we rate ourselves with regard to the priority for development. So, ang ating level of capability, ayan nga, halimbawa sa Objective 1, applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. Ito yung ating Objective 1 sa ating RPMS portfolio. So, sa tingin natin, gaano kataas ang ating level of capability, yung ating kakayahan within this objective. Is it 1, low, 2, moderate, high, 3, or number 4, very high. So, iyan po ay self-assessment. Wala pong tama o mali dito. Gaano natin nire-rate ang sarili natin. So, it cannot be wrong or right kasi this is self-assessment. Now, if you think that you have mastered this objective or this indicator, you can click high. Kasi itong applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas, taon-taon po yan kasama sa ating RPMS portfolio. So if you have been in service for quite a while, o kaya ikaw ay nasa master teacher ka na, or ganun na kataas yung iyong naging experience, more or less, you can have a very high level of capability po dito. Pero kung sa tingin nyo, hindi naman masyado, we can always click the very high. Or the high. Saan na ba to? Ayan. So, i-click lang natin yung high. Pero I don't think that, siguro kung first year teaching experience mo, you can go to low or moderate. Pero kung ikaw naman ay experienced teacher na, you can click high or very high. Tandaan natin that if you click high, sa priority for development, lagi yang magkasalungat. So, kung nag-high ka, you can also rate yourself according to the priority for development. Ito yung gaano kataas ang pangangailangan mong ma-develop tong objective na ito. So, it could be low, moderate, high, or very high. Kung ikaw ay nag-high ng level of capability mo, ang priority for development mo is moderate na lang. Okay? Magkasalungat yan kung napapansin nyo, di ba? Third row ka sa level of capability, second row ka sa priority for development. Now, kung ikaw ay nag-very high sa capability, ang priority for development mo, low na lang. Kasi very high ka na eh. Yung kakayahan mo, very high na eh. So, halos wala ka nang kailangang i-develop dito. So, kung nag-high ka, your priority for development is moderate. Kung ang level of capability mo is moderate, ang priority for development mo naman is high. mataas ang pangangailangan mo. Kasi moderate lang yung kakayahan mo. So, pag nag-low ka sa capability mo, mababa lang yung kakayahan mo, you need very high development. Okay? So, ganun po yan. Magkasalungat sila lagi, yung level of capability and the priority for development. So, ang gagawin lang po natin is we're going to fill out all the rest of the objectives for part 2. Ayan, ititik lang natin yan. Kung ano yung mga level of capability natin and priority for development for each objective until we finish all 4 KRAs kasama na ang plus factor. So, okay na po tayo dyan. Pag natapos natin yung i-check yung ating mga level of capability. Ngayon naman, we will move on to the part 3 of the ESAT, which is the core behavioral competencies. So, ang instruction natin for this, please tick the box of the competency indicators that you demonstrated during the performance cycle. So, meron tayong 6 categories under the core behavioral competencies. So, meron tayong self-management, meron tayong professionalism and ethics. We also have results focus. We also have teamwork, service orientation, and the last one is innovation. So, ang gagawin lang natin dyan, lalagyan lang natin ng check dito sa column na to kung anong mga behavioral competencies na nakalista dito ang sa tingin natin ay naipe-perform natin or naide-demonstrate natin during the performance cycle. So, kung sa tingin natin hindi natin ito naipe-perform or naide-demonstrate, hindi natin yan i-click. Ganun po yan. Walang tama o mali naman dyan. Walang problema kung maka-tick mo yan o hindi. Walang problema. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito is how we can improve ourselves. Kaya dapat honest to goodness answer. Okay? Kung nagagawa mo yan, then check. Kung hindi, then leave it. Alright? And then, pag natapos na po nating i-check ang ating core behavioral competency, then that means that we are now ready for our IPCRF development plan. Kasi nga, dito naka-base yung ating IPCRF development plan. So, punta tayo sa IPCRF development plan natin. During phase 1, ito yung initial IPCRF development plan natin. So, meron tayong different columns dito. Ang unang column is the strength. Okay? Saan ba natin kukunin yung strength? So, may dalawang part dito, yung functional competencies. These are based on the part 2 ng ating SAT o yung objectives. And then the second one, etong pangalawang category is the core behavioral competencies. Ito, galing dun sa part 3 ng ating SAT. Alright? So, dito sa strength, sa column ng strength, saan natin kukunin ang ilalagay dito? Ito yung mga chinek natin na mataas ang ating level of capabilities. Okay? So, puntahan natin yung ating part 2 ng ng ating SAT. Part 2 ng SAT yung objective. So, lahat ng pinakamataas, it doesn't necessarily mean very high. Kung ano yung pinakamataas na na-check mo, kung high ang pinakamataas na na-check mo dyan, then yun yung iyong strength. Kung meron kang very high, so yun yung strength. So dito, sa aking example, I got very high sa objective 1, and then dito rin sa objective 6, at saka dito sa KRA 3, first objective ng KRA 3. Okay? So yan yung aking very high. So yan ang ilalagay natin dito sa strength. Ayan, tatlo yan. Okay? Yun yung ilalagay natin sa strength. Sa core behavioral competencies naman, dito, kukunin natin anong category dun sa ating core behavioral competency, part 3 ng ating ESAT, anong category dito yung nakakuha ka ng pinakamadaming check. Okay. So, dito, meron tayong ang pinakamadaming kong check, self-management, meron akong 4 na check dyan, at saka itong teamwork. Okay? So, yan yung pinakamarami kong check. Yan, dalawa na yan. So, dyan sa dalawa na yan, pipili ako alin dyan ang pinaka na i-demonstrate ko. And that is my strength. Okay? So, ayan ang linagay ko sa strength. This is under, ano nga yung una kong The first one was professional, self-management, okay? So, ito ay galing sa self-management, ito naman ay galing sa teamwork. So, yun yung ating naging strength para sa core behavioral competence. So, pupunta naman tayo sa ating second column, the development needs, okay? So, yung development needs, ito naman, kukunin natin dun sa ating part 1 ng ating, part 2 ng ating IPCRF. Kukunin naman natin dito kung ano dito ang pinaka nangangailangan ng development. Okay? So, titingnan natin yung priority for development. Ano ba dito ang nakakuha ng pinakamataas na rating mo? Okay? So, wala akong very high. Ang pinakamataas ko is high. So, I have here 1. And then, meron ako dito, pangalawa. And then, pangatlo. So, yun yung pinakamataas ko na priority for development. Yung tatlong objective na yon. So, yun yung ilalagay natin dito sa development needs. Ayan yung tatlong objective. Okay? Pagdating naman dito sa ating core behavioral competencies, pupunta tayo dun sa part 3 ng ating ISAT. Hahanapin naman natin dito, ano dito yung pinaka-konting check na nailagay natin. Ito yung professionalism and ethics, 2 lang. Results focus, 1 lang. And then, innovation, 2. Okay, so ang lalagay natin dito is from results focus at saka sa professionalism and ethics. Okay, so diyan tayo kukuha ng ating development needs para sa core behavioral competency. So ayan, linagay ko na yung 2 dyan. So pupunta tayo sa ating next column. Ang next column natin is the action plan. Okay? May 2 column tayo para sa action plan. Ito yung recommended developmental intervention based sa ating development needs column. So, ito lang yung titingnan natin sa paggagawa ng action plan. Hindi na natin poproblemahin tong strength kasi strength na natin yan eh. Malakas na tayo dyan. So, magpo-focus tayo dun sa development needs natin. Based dito sa development needs natin, gagawa tayo ng learning objective. Ano ba yung objective natin para ma-address itong ating development needs? Okay? So, gagawa tayo dyan ng objective related sa ating development needs. And then, we should come up to an intervention. Ano ang plano mong gawin to address these development needs? So, ayan yung ating mga suggestion na mga intervention para ma-address natin itong development needs na to. So, ang timeline natin, kailan natin kailangan gawin to? So, pwede yung buong school year or for a particular quarter. And then, the resources needed. Ano yung mga resources na kakailanganin natin to be able to accomplish our action plan. Ganon din yan. Parehas na din yan dito sa core behavioral competency. We also have the learning objective and then the intervention. Okay? So, ayan na po ang ating IPCRF development plan. Ito yung initial IPCRF development plan natin. Kasi at the end of the school year, nagawa na natin yung learning objective, nagawa na natin yung intervention natin. By the end of the school year, dapat magbabago na itong ating development needs. Kasi we should have addressed the needs already by the end of the school year. So, yun na yung ating updated development plan. Kung paano natin na-address at na-develop itong mga needs natin, itong mga area that needs improvement. Paano natin nagawa. So, dapat itong development needs na to at the end of the school year, mababawasan na yan. Or kung hindi man totally, mawawala na yung development needs natin. Diba? Kasi in-address na natin through our action plan, learning objectives, and intervention. So, yun na po ang ating kabuuan ng ating video about the electronic self-assessment tool. Sana po ay nakadagdag sa inyong kaalaman. But I am sure na alam naman natin lahat itong tungkol sa ISAT. Medyo ni-review lang natin. If you have any questions, concerns, correction, or additional information, do not hesitate po to comment sa ating comment box po. I will appreciate all your comments sa bawat video natin. And I hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you do so. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Importante po na nakasubscribe tayo lagi so that ma-update tayo sa mga susunod pa nating mga i-upload na videos. And speaking of uploading videos, ang susunod nating i-upload na video is explaining about the mid-year review form. And then we will have a video for each of the objective ng RPMS 2024 natin para mas maintindihan natin kung paano i-accomplish ang bawat objective. So that's it. I will see you again in our next video. Thank you so much. Mabuhay po tayong lahat and let's always be a blessing to everyone. Bye-bye!